All right.
All right, folks, Miguel Iturrate back here on the MMA Museum podcast, and we're here for another one of our deep dive interviews. And we've got Brazilian fighting legend, a guy who's still going strong, and we got Ron Carneiro, known as Jucao. What does Jucao mean?
Man, first of all, thank you, Miguel, for the invitation. Thank you, guys. Pleasure to talk to you. Man, Jucao is a toy. It's a Brazilian toy. It's like it's like G.I. Joy, Brazilian G.I. Joy, type of Brazilian G.I. Joy.
Okay,
And every words in Portuguese finish with ao means big.
big. Yeah,
Yeah. So the name the toy was Juca, and when I was kid, I played with them Juca, 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 and become Jucao.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And well deserved, my friend, because you're definitely one of those guys hardcore, always, always,
Oh,
always.
appreciate.
Take us back to the beginning when you were a kid. You played with the toys and stuff, but how did you become a fighter? Were you did you play soccer? What was your background in sports?
So I start play capoeira when I was five years old. And back then capoeira was nothing like today. It was kind of rough, because most of the time we train at the gym, but when we go out, we play at the street, and it was very, very violent too, and I started getting boring when I turned my 10 years old, and my brother and his friends start to do something called jiu-jitsu, right? And after 2 3 months, me and him, play fight inside the house. So he's two years younger than me, and he started to get advantage. And one time he choked me out. Got on my back and choked me out, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know what I'm doing. Like I didn't know about tap or what's going on. I tried to hold, and he choked me out. And I'm like, oh shit, I need to follow him. I need to see what's going on with this jujitsu they are training, and I got there, and the coach had a one gi, and he gave me to train, to try out. And I never stopped since that. Never stopped doing jujitsu since that. My first BJJ coach was Manimal. It's the one black belt from Carson Gracie. And on my blue belt to purple belt, I start to come into Carson Gracie gym a lot. Was kind of like affiliate. Back then the students of Carson bring their students to make a team to compete against Alliance. At the time was Master, Barra Gracie, Gracie Barra, and what's the other one? Put power, Nova União, and I always, represent Carson Gracie, and I never stopped, man. Besides that was good times.
Yeah, for sure. Capoeira had a street vibe. I remember seeing
Yeah.
capoeira in Lapa. Is
Oh
the name?
yeah. Yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
Lapa. Is that in Rio? One of the neighborhoods there. It's a
Yeah.
nice place, but the street, you know, they block off the whole street, and there's like 50 people, fucking
Right.
doing capoeira and stuff.
Oh yeah. So yeah, capoeira. It's martial arts. Developed for the slaves at the time from Brazil. You know, and they pretend there was dancing. Where they living for the white people not think they are trained or something like that. There was like, oh, those guys crazy. They keep on dancing, singing all night, man. Fuck that. But there was training, for eventually some situation happen, and they fight, and they start the capoeira. And Lapa, for example, is a neighborhood who have a lot of black history. It's very, very, very cool if you like see have opportunity to see capoeira in Lapa, because the They are very strong in northeast of Brazil, Bahia, Salvador. Salvador, where they have like the strong capoeira, you know. But when I started at my time to after, Rio and São Paulo have the best athletes capoeira people. We are more athlete, you know, and northeast they are more choreography. They fight as well too, but Rio and São Paulo, Brasilia, they have the capoeira like a very athletes, like a strong guys, powerful, you know. But man, I 10 years old. I'm glad I stopped because it was rough, you know, playing the street and pretty much every time we train at the gym and every month we call roda is the circle. So we go and every day of the month when I go, I have to fight someone. You know,
Yeah.
was like a normal, you know. And the funny with capoeira because it's like we start to play, right? But it's not the sign we're going to fight, you know. So the music starts to go fast, ta, 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 and then like they go fast, the animals and they go fast. Just need one guy to touch each other, and then the fight start, you know. So
Yeah. It's
How do you
crazy.
hold on? Let me ask you something. How do you think the movements and the athleticism of it kind of prepared you for jiu-jitsu?
oh, big time, man. If you see, it's funny. It's funny we talk about this, man. I mean, beginning of this week, I was watching a podcast with André Galvão and Leandro Lô, and they both did capoeira too. Fernando Tereré, who is one icon in jiu-jitsu, he do a lot of capoeira. Cobrinha, he did a lot of capoeira. If you go to the good jiu-jitsu players, they have some type of capoeira in the blood. Help a lot on the movements because it's like you have to be very flexible. You have to have um, know to do back flips, front flips, you know, like a spinning kicks, like double spinning kicks and things like that. I think at some point for jiu-jitsu, help you when you are passing the guard, you know, or when you are play some type of guard and you need some kind of movement to learn in capoeira. So this, I'm sorry, guys, this definitely helped you know.
Like the hip
You're talking about
dexterity,
legends, huh?
like guard retention and hip dexterity,
Yeah,
huh?
for example, like we are in the front headlock, right? Let's pretend, create the situation. You are the front headlock, and then like when you shoot me for the double leg. Instead, you see a lot of movements like that in jiu-jitsu. Instead, you only do the basic sprawl, you know, and do the front headlock. They already do the sprawl and spinning and go take it back right away. You know what I mean? That's like a
Yeah.
typical capoeira movement. Let's see another one. When you pass the guard, right? So you fake to go to one side and go to the other and go to the other and go to the other. This is a very capoeira swing, you know, very capoeira move. You know, I think in those aspects make you more sneaky, more unpredictable. Capoeira have to be very unpredictable. It's very all the movement. It's like a counter and sneaky. You know. So yeah, they call malandragem. Capoeira have to be malandragem. Malandragem means like you have to be smart. You have to be sneaky. You know, and I think in some point make you be a very counter player. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So now you went over to Cross Gracie and Jiu Jitsu. Who gave you your black belt?
Murilo Bustamante. I got my brown belt from Carson, and my black belt was Murilo, Zemar Sperry, Libor, and Bebel Duarte. They founded the Brazilian top team. So
Yeah.
I left Carson Gracie when I was brown belt. I was about to get my black belt, but I had to leave because everybody pretty much left. And Carson Senior, he was not um, living in Brazil anymore. He was living in Chicago, where he opened his gym. And for for me, it was not cool to have my old teammates training in Brazilian top team, and don't have a Carson Grace Senior push me to train. Was a guy. I mean, I even don't want to tell his name, but I was not like very happy training Carson Grace without him. The whole
Yeah.
problem was that. I believe like if Carson was there physically, a lot of people, a lot of folks was not leave for Brazilian top team. Maybe they would do some type of cross training, but I would not say like left Carson Grace because he was not there. He was not there Rio anymore. He was in Chicago, and it was hard. He was training at the time Miguel Torres.
Yeah.
What's the guy name? He did an amazing the Ultimate Fight with Forrest Green. Stephen Bonner,
Yeah.
was his team in Chicago back then. And I was 20 something years old, no visa, you know, so just a dream. And I and there in Brazilian top team, Murilo after my fight against Anderson Silva, he gave me a black belt.
Yeah. It's kind of sad a little bit,
Yeah.
the breakup because I talked to Murillo and we did an interview, and Murillo never fixed the problem with Carlson. They never, made
No,
friends
I
again.
was man, I can tell about this. I was talked to Alan Goss, like maybe when he got his black and his red belt, coral belt, and even he didn't know the reason what like make that situation happen, right? So Carson, he wants to 30% of the purse, and everybody does not agree. They don't. All the fighters at the time, Murilo, Zemario, Liboro, and Bebel was just trainer. Who else? I think Alan Goss. All fighters, they don't agree. They
Mhm.
agree to Carson. You're not here physically. We're gonna pay you 20%, and you don't need to be here. But he have people around him who had a type of jealous, right, of the other fighters, right, of Murilo, of Zemar, of everybody, who keep you like a poisoning, like, hey, no, Carson, bullshit, man. I said 30%, man. Fuck. There are a bunch of traitors. There are a bunch of this. And then Carson have his ego, right? And he's like, no, hey, no, no, no. And I remember the day Murilo go there at the Carson Race Gym. I was there training. And they go in the office, Carson Race office, and they start to like scream with each other, right? And I remember Murilo, Carson, come on, man. You don't need to be here. You're just gonna get 20%. And no, man, fuck you guys never pay the gym. So both have a sides. Guys never paid the gym, 30% is more than enough. I want to see if you guys loyal or not. And then Murilo, Carson, not about to be loyal, it's about to be professional. So you're not gonna be here all the time. And they keep like a go back and forth. And I remember Murilo left. They don't agree on terms. And Murilo, man, you're gonna regret what you're doing, man. And it's like, no, but I could see Carson love them. Carson love all, man, come on, are you kidding me? And he make a letter, right? He make a letter, and the letter say like kick all the guys out. But the funny thing is he never come to the letter and give it for any type of media. You know what I mean? So he have the
Okay.
letter, kick everybody out, but he never come to you, for example, have a meeting. Hey Miguel, that's the letter. Come on, talk about the letter. I kick everybody out. He never did that. And he gives to somebody else, and somebody else give for the media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think, and the person who give for the media was a person who keeping poisoning, who keeping like, hey, I say I kick that out, man, bullshit. You know what I mean? If it was a
Yeah.
good person, if the letter come in my hands, Carson would be mad with me, but I would be like, hey, Carson, Oh, you give the letter for the media? I say, Caso, I don't see the guy, but the letter's with me. I never gonna give you the letter. And I would try to reach Murilo and the guys and say, listen, man, Carson, he did the letter, man. He want to kick you guys out. How about you guys like a sit and talk and try to make a terms? And I think that's it. They put the letter. I mean, they published the letter. Was Tatame magazine at the time. Marcelo Alonso, who was the
Uh-huh.
one. I don't blame him because he's doing his job. I feel like he could like I don't know, he could maybe talk to, maybe I don't know if he did or not before he published the letter. Maybe he talked to Murilo. I don't know if he did or not, but I think but I can't blame him. It's his job. But the letter was pure emotional about Carson. Was not something like he did it, but at the same time he's like was mad, but at the same time he was like very hurt inside to do that. Because all those guys was kind of kid for him.
Yeah, for sure, for
You
sure.
know,
And, just one of the things I know about Carlson, by the time he went to Chicago, he was old,
mhm.
but he was a real fighter. You know what I mean? It's like
Eh,
tell a story from the old days like that.
Miguel Carson nowadays they would cancel him. Carson was not fit for that day we live in right now because
Mhm.
he's very honest. He don't care if he's like gonna hurt your feelings or not. If the truth is there, I say he's gonna come to you and like, you know, let's say you fight and then in the middle of the fight you quit. They're gonna call you a bunch of names in front of everybody. He don't care. He don't give a shit. He's not gonna be like, oh, his mom is around. No, say, hey man, you fucking pussy, man. You should change your profession. You don't you are not made to. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm training. Oh man, you quit. We don't have space for quitters. We don't have. Get the fuck out of here. Try to do something else. You're intelligent. You have a money. Try to do some college, to do a lawyer, to be a doctor, but a fighter, forget about it, man. You're not born for be a fighter. You are straightforward. Imagine nowadays is like he says something like that for someone in front of everybody. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
he's at people. Oh, Carso, he's so brutal. He's like, oh, and yeah, and there's so many good histories, man, about him, man. One time like now he's a IBJJF, right? He's the Supreme like Jiu-Jitsu Federation, right? So back there was CBJJ, Confederação Brasileira de Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Confederation of Jiu-Jitsu, who is always his young brother Carlos Jr., who is behind it, right? And Carson Gray's team always like score way more points than Gracie Barra. And if you put all the other gyms together, the points what they made was not even half the Carson Gracie. It was a big army. And it is what it is. Everybody, when you have someone with that supremacy, everybody like hate you. I mean, not hate you, but try to beat you, right? And one fight, one match was very controversial, right? And Carson disagree about the results at all, and he go back and forth with Carlos Jr. And Carlos like start to argue with him, and then he go hard with Carlos, man, his young brother. You know, he come his young brother. You man, you robbed me. You fucking piece of shit confederation. You guys try to rob my guys. Anyway, he take all his students out of the tournament. So back then was you have the ID was paper ID. You know, everybody who come in is like, hey, I'm gonna compete. And then, yeah, coach, I'm gonna compete. Let me see your ID. And then you give your ID to him, he's raised. He ripped. He ripped right away. So was so many histories, man. Carson was legit, straightforward, amazing knowledge. He's the type of guy who, man, he can solve any position, any struggle, any movement you bring to the table. He look, repeat one, repeat two, and like, okay, come over here. Put your hands here, put your hips right there. Okay, try to do that right now. And the position doesn't work. And that's it. He have a good eyes. He can tell if the guy would will be a good fighter or not. The way you're training, he kind of, oh, this guy's gonna be good. Oh, fuck this guy, man. Fuck this guy don't have a heart. Get the fuck out of here. But like that, he don't have like tell him to, he's boom, straightforward.
Before we get into your career, I want to ask you: were you at the Liborio versus Francisco Bueno match?
No, no, I was kid, man. I
You were
was.
already
Oh, I was kid. Yeah, I was kid. I remember Francisco. Francisco was very good jiu-jitsu player at the time. He's from Nova União, from the Dependeiros.
yeah.
But
No, he
Liboro
was
was a monster. Liboro always, jiu-jitsu. He was one of the best jiu-jitsu player from Carson. I can tell that.
Da Vinci.
Yeah, yeah. I say Liboro, Murilo, definitely Murilo, Alan Goss, Mário Sperry. Man, was a Paulo Filho. Was a lot of people, man. Arona, man,
Yeah, it was a monster team.
yeah, was the Real Madrid at the
Yeah.
time.
So let's get into this. Your first fight officially on Short Dog is 2000
Right,
in an event called Heroes.
a Carson Grace event.
And
What?
so what was going on there? Because obviously Paulo Filo
I
was in
won.
the
I
main
won the
event.
fight. I won the fight. I won the fight. It was bullshit, you know. But I accept. Okay, loss. It was my first MMA event. Was a lot of responsibility at the time because was the first Carson Grace team after Liborio, Zemario, Murilo, and all those guys left. Was me, Paulo Filho, Elson Matos, Sucata. He stayed there, but they don't find opponent to him for the compete at the tournament, at the event. Me, Elson Matos, Paulo Filho. Who else? Yeah, it was a bunch of young guns. But I won the fight. I won the fight, but I lost on the referee decision. The referees was all luta livre guys,
Okay.
and at the time was still was the rivalry was pretty high at the time.
And
You
there's
know,
full of guys like you said, Luta Livre. You had the Pedro and,
yes. Oh,
Flavio Mora. Flavio Mora
Flavio
was awesome.
Mora,
Great
yeah,
fighter.
great fight. Flavio Mora, De Pedro, Hugo Duarte, Eugênio Tadeu, Alexandre Pequeno, Márcio Cromado, and yeah, it was a bunch of good
Legends.
fighters. Yes, was a bunch. They still in the business, They still have a team. The guy who won the PFL 145, Peruvian guy. I don't know if you follow the new MMA event. He's a Peruvian guy who trained with Ivan Pitbull, who is a luta livre guy, he's a student of Alexandre Pequeno.
Yeah.
They're still the business. Márcio Cromado, he have tons of fighters.
The Kenya with the 5-finger.
The guillotine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Awesome
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it was my first fight on Heroes. You
Now,
know,
this is crazy because your second fight is, I guess, maybe the best guy ever.
yeah. So what happened with that fight, right? Then I moved, and then I tried to stick myself with Carson, but he left to Chicago, right? And then I moved to Brazilian top team, right? And at the time have one event called Meca World Vale Tudo.
This
And
was Rudy Marshall.
Rudy Marshall with Jorge Guimarães,
Yeah.
who is a manager with Alex Poitin, who else? Minotauro Nogueira. He managed a lot of fighters, right? Anderson Silva as well. Later, he's a manager. When Anderson went to UFC, so. But anyway, Udimar challenged any jiu-jitsu player at 80 kilos at the time. You know, and I was jiu-jitsu national champion with one MMA fight, one MMA. And I feel like I saw, once again, not going to tell names, but I saw guys more experienced than me refuse to fight. And I feel like, oh man, come on, this is not this. I mean, let's go. You know, I'm step up. I put myself to fight Anderson Silva. You know, at the time he had a 15 or 12 fights. He was Shooto champion. He already he beat Hayao Sakurai. He was already Shooto champion, and he also fights in Mecha World Vale Tudo. He was a Mecha champion at the time. And I accept was not smart, but for the experience wise, you know, I should have a more experience and then fight him. I really felt the ring, you know, when I fought. Plus, was on his city, you know, was very, very, very rough place to fight against a guy from shoot box. Special us to go to Rio, go all the way to Curitiba and fight a guy from shoot box was, you know, I remember the weigh-ins, all his family was there. His kid who is fighting right now was on his lap, you know, and everybody started to scream, you know, you're gonna die. Was at the time was me and Carlos Barreto. So the whole team came the next day, the day they fight. You know, the weigh-ins was only me, Carlos Barreto, and Navalhada too. But Navalhada was still training at Carson. And man, was like rough. You got the weigh-ins and you see Pelé Lange, Vanderlei, Rafael Cordeiro, everybody scream, you're gonna get your ass beat, you know, Rio de Janeiro motherfucking guy, fuck you, you're gonna die. But I was like, you know, anyway, yeah, and then I fought, you know, one thing I
More than 5
respect.
minutes.
Yeah, I got he finished he was at the time was a pride rules. First round is 10 minutes, second round 5, and third fight 5. I think he finished at 8 or 9 minutes. I think 9 minutes, 9:40 or 8:40, something like that. I think it was 9 minutes, something. I still survived him with 9 minutes with him, you know, and his body was all Vaseline, all Vaseline, all Vaseline, you know. And I remember first time when I grabbed him, I was like, man, should I complain? And I was like, man, if I complain, nothing's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And Pedro Rizzo was the referee, was the ref. And I was about to complain, but I said, you know what, keep going. You know, it was hard because I grabbed him and he was leaping. If you see the fight one time, I got him the guillotine and I pulled guard and his head popped, you know, and I thought I was getting the guillotine, you know, it was very tight, but his head popped. No excuse, you know, he was way more experienced than me, period. And, you know, and after that, I put 5 straight wins, you know.
Yeah, no, and you went back to the next show, and that's where you got your first win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Talk about that because obviously you did a good job.
Yeah, it's funny. And then Jorge Guimarães asked me to fight against this guy, Carlos Esponja. And this guy, he was kickboxing guy, a little older than me, and he was a bouncer with one nightclub. And he kicked me out of the nightclub one time for no reason. You know, yeah, but way before I was kid. I think it was 17, something like that. He was already 20 something, right? And then when George Guimarães like, oh man, the guy is he's a kickboxer, he's experienced. I said, who? Oh, Carlos Esponja. I said, oh what? Man, I got it. Please give me the fight. And everything was great, and took him down, submitted him. I think TKO. Yeah, I remember at the week of the fight, he tried to intimidate me. Like a walk, like a roof. He always keeping like staring me down. You know, but it was great. Yeah, and then I fought a guy, Adriano Bad Boy. It was a good fight too. Wasn't Mecca, but it wasn't real. You know,
Adriano Verdelli.
Benny. Yeah,
Verdelli?
Adriano Verdinelli, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Verdelli. It was what it said. Now,
yeah.
after that, you fought on my show, okay,
Oh,
against
yeah.
Rodrigo Ruas.
Yes. And then Alex Davis invited me to fight his event. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do an edition, the AFC in Brazil, man. You want to fight? I say, absolutely, man. Yeah. Oh, it's against Rodrigo Ruas. I don't care. Let's go. Was
because Rodrigo Ruas was kind of
yeah.
famous, you know, with
He
his
was
brother and stuff.
yeah. His uncle Marco Ruas, right?
Okay,
And plus he I think he fought World Extreme Challenge, right? With what's his name? The guy
Jamie Levine.
James Levine, yeah, the rival, the guy who have the rival clothes company, right?
Yeah,
And it's funny, right? People really don't know, but back then, I can be wrong, but I think your show, UFC, and his show was right.
yeah,
Was Who Can Shoot?
yeah,
AFC Absolute Fight Championship. His event was World Extreme Challenge or World Extreme Fight.
yeah, yeah. Well, World
World
Extreme
Extreme
Fighting.
Fighting.
Yeah,
World
the
Extreme
thing,
Fighting.
you know, now is all
Yeah.
Papa Dan Lambert.
Oh yes, yeah, and his clothes was very competitive at the time. His fight company was Rival, Hunt, and Bad Boy, and Tap Out.
Yeah,
There was the company people like when you talk about MMA, you go Rival, you go Hunter, you go Bad Boy, or you go Rival, right?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and my dream when I start to get on my professional career, my dream was, of course, in the UFC because the history about Royce Gracie and fight and jiu-jitsu thing, the way they walk. When I was kid, man, was just have visualized that. But for me, have opportunity to fight AFC or Who Can Shoot or what's the name of the other show in Vegas, man? He's in the Saudi.
King of the
John
Cage.
Lewis's show.
John Lewis, yes, John Lewis show. I think it's WEC or WEF or
WFA.
WFA. Yeah, my
Yeah.
dream was fight one of those shows. So
For sure, for sure.
that's was my dreams, fighting internationally.
Now, with the Rodrigo Ruas fight, this is pure jujitsu versus, lucha libre.
Uh huh.
So, how did you feel about this fight? Because it went 15 minutes too. It was a hard fight.
Oh my God, yeah, it was I finished the fight. I don't know if you remember the referee Carlão. He say I was TKO near the belly, and he said I was punched behind the head. But come on, it was not. And then he stopped the fight and gave me, I mean, 1 point or whatever. But we go to the distance. But I dominated the whole fight. I dominated the whole fight. I was so hungry, so hungry for the fight. Miguel was.
Yeah,
I knew that those type of fights could change my life. And see you guys over there organize. Came from America. Absolute Fight Championship. You know, have the
Jeff
sponsor.
Monson was there.
Jeff
Aaron
Monson
Riley.
was there. Aaron Riley. Who else was there, man? Well, really, then remember he did win there, but I heard he sponsored. You know, he was
Yeah, yeah.
helps
Always.
somehow. And Alex Davis, you know, and the hotel in Friburgo, the guys rented the whole hotel. Was not only rooms. You guys booked the whole motherfucker hotel, you know. And,
Yeah.
and at the time it was a good payday. And if you talk about Brazilian
Yeah.
money, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was $1,000 or something. I don't remember, but for me was man, was a good cost. No, no, I'm not gonna be rich, but it was for
Yeah.
Brazil at
It
the
helps.
time a lot. A lot, you know, and I put all day on the table, my opportunity, you know, and the way I was training super hard, you know, I believe I was my prime. I think at that time I should fight Anderson Silva. That would be different. You know what I mean? At that
Yeah.
time was perfect time if I could have opportunity to fight Anderson Silva, you know?
Now, something crazy. I, I don't know if Sherdog is correct, but something crazy. You went like 5 days later and fought in Switzerland.
Yes. Well, I think it was not 5 days.
It says the our show was August 28th, and the fight in Switzerland was September 4th. So
Probably.
a week.
Probably. Probably.
How'd that come about? What? Because that's Shudo, Switzerland. That was,
Yeah.
a good opportunity also.
August Frota, you know? No, it's not possible because I think it was not possible. Something wrong right there, probably.
Okay.
I can't I really don't remember was that short period of time. Because after
Okay.
the fight, I moved to live in Europe.
Okay.
What year they say?
2004.
No, it was 2005.
Okay.
I
Okay.
almost I can't be wrong. I can be wrong. I can be wrong. But yeah,
Okay, but you went to live in Europe as a jiu-jitsu instructor now at this point,
yes,
a black belt.
yeah. After I was black belt, got my black belt in 2002, and then I moved to Paris after that fight in Switzerland. So I went to Switzerland. Jay-Z Cavalcante fight in the same show. Um, who else? There's a bunch of people, man. Don't come in my mind right now. A few guys from American Top Team came and fight over there. And
Marcel Ferreira.
Marcel Ferreira. No, Marcel Ferreira fought in your show. I don't remember Marcel fought in Switzerland. He did it?
He says yes.
Okay, probably. Probably. Yeah, it was a few guys from American Top Team. And who are gonna he's still my friend, Augusto Frota, was behind the shoot to Switzerland. And after that I decided to stay and I have a opportunity to open a gym in Paris, you know, and I was tired to stay in Brazil, man, live in Brazil, you know. And I stay there. I move and I live there 2 years. I lived there two
Nice.
years. And
That's
then
a good experience.
it was amazing. It was Brazilian top team France. You know,
Yeah.
every time the guy, those guys, the Brazilian top team guys go fight in Japan, they stop by in Paris to break down the flights, you know, and halfway to Europe, halfway to Japan, you know. Carlos Barreto, Murilo Bustamante, maybe twice, Minotauro, Arona, you know, they always stop there and it was a great experience, man, at the time. You know, it was
Now
good.
you got your next fight. You got to go to Japan to fight for yourself, and I think this is the one that Todd was at, which is Rio Chona.
Yeah,
Which
Rio
Rio
Chana.
Chona is a guy that kind of legendary guy. He beat Anderson Silva
Yeah,
one time.
it is. It is with the Caesar heel hook. Yeah, man, this guy, and he came to Atlanta a few times already. We become good friends. We roll. You know, he opened his gym in Japan. Was a great fight at the time. You know, was that fight was my passport for Pride. I mean, they said, you know, I
You
mean,
were
if you
bigger
beat
at that
him,
time too, yeah? Big,
and
more
yeah,
muscular.
yeah, oh yeah, I was 80 kilos. The the their division was 83 kilos because they fall Pride division. It's 83, 93, and over 93. They don't have a lot of divisions, you know. And man, it was great. I was dominated the fight. You know, I lost my focus a little bit, and I remember I was so happy in the middle of the third round because I was start to think like, oh my God, you know, I'm gonna fight in Pride, man. And then he come and did a fly knee and hit my head and open. I fall, play guard, was a pretty big cut, and the referee stopped the fight because the big cut. But come on, I mean, was 3 minutes and 30 seconds, was like 1 minute 30 seconds left. I would not stop to fight or cut, you know, and it was the opportunity for them to stop the fight. You know, no bullshit. I don't want to give excuse. But every time I took him down, they let me work for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and break the fight to the feet again. Maybe like 5, 6 times, you know. And I remember one time I ended up on battle, was on the second round, I think. They let the fight go, you know. They let the fight go. He was nothing, no action, and they let the fight go. But I knew that. And one funny thing about this, so they have the meeting of the rules, right? And the referee at the meeting said no soccer kick. You know, so no soccer kick is allowed, no knee on the ground is allowed. I said, okay. And then minutes of the fight, when I was wrapped my hands, the same motherfucker referee come to the locker room and come bring the translator and start to speak in Japanese. They said soccer kick was allowed and knee on the ground was allowed. Like minutes. I was like, oh, really? That's cool. No big deal because we train apply the rules at the gym anyways. You know, was not a big difference for me. Actually was good. But they try to be slick, you know. They try to, I mean, and yeah, I mean, it's no excuse. But for example, like you go and have uh, man, it was 30 something hours flight. And then you got to Narita Airport. And then from you go to Tokyo, take probably 1 hour, 30 minutes from the shuttle. Man, instead should they give me to my hotel, they go do some type of interview. You know, that's type of I don't feel like that's no fair. This type of strategy to get you tired. You know, and they always give you like 3 nights of hotel. You know, you can recover in 3 nights. Flights from Brazil to Japan, impossible. You feel horrible at the day of the fight, but it is what it is. You know that you're hungry, you're decided to be a champion is way more. I'm telling this because the guys who have more finals condition who fought in Pride, they go 10 to 15 days before the fight to acclimate, to running, to eat, to acclimate to the jet lag for the time zone, you know. But us who fight on deep, you know, and so you was there. You remember it was very teeny. I mean, arena, right? They keep screaming. I think it's the only arena they scream. Seems like they are kind of ghetto area from Japan.
I think
Because
Crockwin Hall, like the people that go there are hardcore fight fans.
hard work.
Like
Yes, yeah,
like Ensign, if he come to Crockwin Hall, nobody bothers him. If he goes to
right.
Pride, everybody,
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, the fans are more. They watch lots of fights all the time.
right.
Yeah.
They are very hardcore because I went to Pride and I feel the difference. Like 60, 70,000 people scream only they have action. They keep it like in silence, pay attention to the action. Correct way how they already start to scream all the time.
Yeah, no, it's a great experience though, because
oh, it was amazing. It was amazing, man. It was beside
I've been,
Tokyo Dome, you know.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, let me ask you. So now you're living in Europe and you do a few fights in England, including
Yes.
a fight against a guy named Matt Horwich,
Yeah.
who's kind of, a little bit of a legend,
Uh-huh.
trained with
It was, yeah,
Matt Lindland and those guys.
was my first Grand Prix. I did it 3 fights in one night.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
WC No Guts, No Glory. Three
Yeah.
fights. Gregory
And
Buchela, Matt
yep.
Horwich, Claudio Matos.
Yep. And
And
I
you won the
lost.
thing.
Yeah, no, I lost the final. I broke my foot. So I could not come back to the second round because my foot was broke. Was three battles. First was against Greg Bushil again, the guy who fought in Pride against Paulo Filho. He was from French. I trained with him a little bit, and it was kind of uh, re- my rival from France. You know,
Right?
because he lived in Paris, he was talk a lot of bullshit, blah blah blah, and I say, man, this guy, and was pretty hard fight. And then second fight, Mark Warnrich, all go to the distance. Was a battle with me, Matt Warnrich was the battle. I
He's good on the
remember
ground.
very good on the ground, very good on the ground. I remember I didn't understand the rules, right? In the second round, he was on top of me. He started to throw elbows, right? And I hold his arm and look at the ref and say, hey, man, elbow, 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 elbow is not allowed. And he was speaking English with me. No, Jucao, elbow is allowed. Elbow is allowed. He throw elbows on me. And then I reverse, get on the feet, and I dropped him a few times. It was a great experience. Mike Tyson was one of the referee. They bring Mike Tyson to be the referee. One guy who did his debut was what's the guy name? Edson Barbosa. He knocked the guy out with the spinning kick. Matt, I
Terry
forget his
Adam,
name.
yeah.
Terry something.
Etam.
Yes,
Terry
Terry.
Etienne, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Was his debut at the guy was behind the event, training managing him. And the whole thing was for him. And I remember they bring Mike Tyson to the show at the time.
It's great
Yeah,
stuff, man.
was a good time. Yeah, and was a good time. I did was my biggest payday, 10,000 pounds.
It's
Yeah,
not bad for the time.
yeah. Oh no, it was great, man. For me, it was amazing, man. It was a
So
great experience to live in Europe, man.
for sure, for sure. Now you go back to deep now and you fight Daisuke Ishii at deep
Yeah,
25. Talk
yeah,
about that fight because you got a win there, and that's a
yeah.
good win.
It is. He was. It's funny. It was a Korakuen again. This guy, he fought a couple guys in Brazil. I think he fought Macaco, Jorge Patino. He have a tons of experience. He fought Minoa. He fought a lot of guys. I think he was I think at some point he was Pancrase champion. You know,
Yeah, for
was
Yuki Kondo.
Yuki Kondo. Yeah, he was very experienced guy. You know, and one thing and what I miss at the time, I mean, because now people like, oh, this guy is 10-0, this guy is 12-0, this guy is 12-1. But you see those guys, they probably is like 30-15, you know.
Mhm.
But look who he fought.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? And you saw those
Yeah.
guys 10-0, they fought bombs. You know, they don't fought real fighters. They try to build up the record to get a good opportunity to fight in a good show. I mean, UFC, for example, if you have a bad record, they don't sign. You know, so now it's all about have a good record, have a good looking, and have a lot of followers on Instagram and social media. They don't look at your skills anymore. You know, if the guy is good, if the guy is tough, if the guy is good on the feet, if the guy is good on the ground, if the guy, you know, do this, do that. It's not about that. It's all about like a followers, you know, all about good looking, all about the record, you know. I mean, I feel like we lost the sense of the MMA. You know, and back then, if you saw those, if you watch the guy, for example, his record was not that great, but he have probably more than 40 fights.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
when he fought me.
he beat my guy Chris Lytle. You know,
You see?
Lytle was serious.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Chris Lato, man. He become a politician, right?
He ran for office. Yeah, he's a
He
fireman.
tried. He's a
Yeah, he
fireman.
tried to.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Hey, you're on top of things.
bro. He's yeah. He did a good career in UFC,
Yeah, no,
right?
it's funny because he beat Matt Serra, but not
Yeah.
at the time of the, you know,
It's
for the
it's
show. He
right.
lost to Serra, you know,
Yeah.
that one time. So he always says, "Oh, you know, I wish I'd won that one." You know what I mean, with the big
Uh-huh.
contract and things like that. So,
Right.
but yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and
Oh,
you know,
nice,
a
man.
lot of respect.
I like him. When I signed him with UFC, he was the same division too. I remember.
Yeah,
We
I'm
I think
glad you guys didn't fight.
yeah, we almost got a fight. They talk, but I think he left or something like that. I really don't remember. But yeah, he's
Okay,
a good guy. He's a good guy.
so now you went you beat Ishii in deep, and that gives you a good opportunity, you know, to you know, go back to Japan and win a fight,
Hmm.
and that makes you kind of you
And
know,
it's funny because
jump up.
the fight with Ishii, I won and I got a cut in the same eye in the same corner of the ring, and I had the same doctor who stitched me with Shona was stitching me again. You know, but I screamed. I remember when he cut me, you guys never, don't stop the fight. You guys not gonna stop. But it was same cut. But it was I think it was headbutt.
Okay.
You
Now
know,
something interesting happens. Now you fight another Japanese guy, but in Brazil.
yeah, it was Showtime.
What kind of so what was this? What how did that
Showtime.
come about?
It's a one guy. He have a
Watanabe.
very famous uh nightclub there in São Paulo at the time. You know, he was kind of rich guy, and he decided to make the show over there, and he invited some international fighters. And at the time, my name was kind of upcome from Brazilian top team, and they decided to put me to fight in their organization, and they put the Japanese to fight against me there in Brazil. You know, and I remember to the fight, I was like, I was just like asking the promoters, when before the fight is they're gonna be here? Oh, they're gonna be here like 3 days before the fight. I said, oh, now they're gonna feel the pain. And I was like, I was just like, I'm gonna push the pace, you're gonna guess. And that's it. We start, I push the pace, push the pace, push the pace, he gas. I don't remember how I finished him. Arm triangle, Katagatame choke, I think.
Yeah, arm triangle choke.
Arm triangle choke. Yeah, I pushed the pace, and when I got the arm triangle, I was like, "That's it." I knew, you know.
Now
And
the main
then
event was Pele.
Pelé, yeah, Pelé with Pamplona. Yeah, they fight on the weigh-ins. Man, they fight Pelé's daddy at the weigh-ins. Was a big rivalry between São Paulo and Curitiba, you know. Because every one of us from Rio, São Paulo who go fight against shoot box in Curitiba have a hard time, you know. But I'm not say us from Rio is more polite, you know, and let it go. But those guys from São Paulo not. They are. I mean, okay, you make us pay over there. Now we fight in São Paulo. You guys are gonna pay the same price, you know. And they give like a hard time for Pelé team. I think at the time Pelé was not shoot box anymore. He was on his own team against the whole city, you know, the whole São Paulo. Yeah, and Pamplona like a give him a bit.
It's crazy. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. You remember the last MMA fight of Rafael Cordeiro? There was a
Uh-huh.
guy named Matamoros.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
was in his corner.
Oh, he was there
Yeah,
in São
yeah.
Paulo, right?
No, this was
In
oh
Curitiba. No, no, no. Was
no. It was kind of on the beach. I'll find the name of the city.
oh, I know. Is in Central America, right?
No, it hold on, I'll find it. I'll find it. It is
Oh, in Brazil,
yeah, it's in Brazil. We went
Natal,
to we what was it?
Natal.
Let me find it. I'll find it.
I think was in Natal, Northeast.
Yeah, we went to we flew to Sao Paulo, stayed one night, and then flew there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure was Rio Grande do Norte, Natal.
I'll find it. Hold on a second here. Let me just. It was a nice mellow city, and but yeah. So no, I understand fighting. You know, shootbox. Those guys, they were all in uniform. You know, I remember. Pele and
Oh man.
Vanderlei, they were all there, in the same outfits and stuff. And right here, as this guy's manager alone,
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
they are not allowed to talk with other fighters. Doesn't matter which team. When they go
Yeah,
to the event, Rudimar don't allow them to talk to anyone. Only the promoters and between them at the
and
time.
for sure, and they were rough, man. But
Yeah.
actually, oh no, where is it? Recife.
Yes, Recife. Yeah. Which show
So
was that? Was Hit?
is IVC
Oh, okay.
Sergio
From
Battarelli.
Sérgio Battarelli. Yeah, Recife. Yep.
So crazy stuff, man. But
Yes.
later on in the future, when Pele fought Pat Miletich in Georgia,
Right.
uh, they uh, they came out and cornered with me.
Wow.
I was with Henry because my guy fought 30 minutes with them. They respected him.
Right.
They like
So
they.
that is the same event Murillo fought Tom Harrison?
No. That was Mars. This was
Right.
where
Hey, Rome,
like yeah, this was in Georgia, yeah, where
Rome, Georgia.
this was the Jamie Levine show again.
Oh, Jim Levine. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So definitely good stuff. Now let's go back here. So you go back to Brazil, you fight, you get there. Now you're fighting in something called Law Fighting Championships.
Yeah. The fight
Fabio
was
Nascimento.
I should never took the fight. The fight was 1 week after I fight in São Paulo, or 10
Okay,
days, something like that. 1 week.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
in
I beat
November.
I beat the Japanese, and this guy was supposed to fight against Pelé on the main event, and I think Pelé broke his hands. and I was like no fight mode at all. So after the fight, I was celebrating, drink. I was drunk as a fuck when when Bebel Duarte, my coach, called me and said, "Hey, listen, man, those guys they want you to fight." I said, "Pelé, Bebel, I just fought, man. You know, I'm here drinking." And he's like, "How much they want to pay?" And I don't remember. He said, "Oh, they want to pay this." And then was like, "Okay, tell them if they pay this, I'm fighting." And then 10 minutes later, Bebel called me, "Hey, listen, they're gonna pay you this." And then I was like, "Okay." And then I asked the guy to the bar, "Okay, give me another one, give me another shot. I gotta fight next week." No excuse, but I mean, it was not smart for me to fight the guy like right, you know,
Oh, no, and you when you fight a
right
Brazilian
after.
guy like that,
Yeah,
hungry
and the
guy,
guy,
always going to
hungry
be a hungry
guy,
guy.
was decision. The guy did nothing, was not a very good fight. He took me down a few times, and I took him down once, but he controlled me more, you know, and I lost by decision.
Now, after this, now's where things get good. You
Yeah.
go to
And
UFC.
then I went to I was about to fight in Switzerland again in December against guy from Holland, man. He's Afghanistan guy. Man, he's become a good friend. Sia Bahaduzara.
Okay.
But but at the fight at the day of the show, I think the politicians there they eat. I mean they block the fight. They don't let the fight happen. So the day of the weigh-ins, we come to the weigh-ins, everybody, and the politicians right there. I think the mayor of the city and the judge have the letter. Don't let the fight happen. The good thing they pay us. You know,
Okay.
they pay us the show money. They pay us the show money, and it was in December, and then Alex was December 22 or 23rd, and then Alex Davis called me and said, "Listen, man, y'all ready?" I said, "For what? To fight in UFC?" I was like, "Alex, come on, man, stop to joke, man." He's like, "No, no, I got your contract here, man. I signed you in UFC." Bro, it was one of the best day of my life when I heard about it, you know.
For
And
sure.
yeah, and then was I think beginner of I don't remember. Yeah, it was beginner of was January or something or was December. I think it was January. But
Okay. And you fought in April, so
in April.
you had you had good time
Yeah.
to train and prepare and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. Fought Rich
talk
Clemente.
about that. Were you already where was the training in the States or with
No,
American Top Team?
Brazilian top team. Brazilian
Okay.
top team. I was in Brazilian top team, but it was when I was moved to Brazil, back to Brazil, but I was not adapted to live in Brazil anymore after leaving France. You know, it was very hard. You know, everything was hard in Brazil, struggle. You know, and at the time when Libora moved to US to open the American top team, he asked me if I would come to go with him. I would be his first student over there, and but I could because my grandmother was had a cancer, and I was the only one who would take care of her. And after she passed, instead to go to US, I went to Paris, to France. But it was always on my mind one day leaving America, right? And I moved to Brazil, was training there, and I was not feeling well to training there in Brazil anymore. But I did this camp in Brazilian top team at the time, and I went to Vegas to fight Rich Clemente, and I fought him. I beat him. It was the Palms Casino, and I had a proposal to open a gym in Atlanta, You know, so the guy he went to the fight, and after the fight, I flew to Atlanta. You know, where I saw his facility, his gym, and he invited me to open a gym in Atlanta. And here I am,
Change your life.
here I am, since there. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally changed my life. You know,
Now, talk
and
a little bit about Clemente, though, because Clemente is a good fighter, a
yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
fights,
a lot of fights
and
was
also a good mind game. Like,
yeah, was tough fight. I beat him. Good decision. Was very good decision. You know, was pretty.
you're bigger.
I was bigger than him. He was between 150 fight and 170. He could fight both. But man, was man first time in UFC, man. You know, first time in the US, fight in the US was my second time in America. You know, and I came straight to Vegas, right? And I see my name on the outdoor. I was co-main event, you know, on the billboard outside to the Palms. And then I'm like, that's too much to me. That's dream. You know, the purse was horrible, was $3,000 plus $3,000. But I don't care. I was happy, you know. I was not, to be honest, I was not even think about money at all. And after that, I knew the opportunity to live in America would be a could be happen. You know, was
Now,
good, man.
you were
Was
there with
good.
a couple of guys from ATT, like Wilson
Yes,
Gobea was on.
they fought the same night. Yeah, and then at that time we had the conversation, right? And then that was the time we decided to move. You know, Jay-Z was there, my good friend. He helped me with the corner. Gleison Tibau, you know, all my guys who was already living in America, you know. Dan Lambert was there. So I saw him for the second time. I met him at ADCC, the one you organized,
Mhm.
right? Do you remember in Pyramids,
Yeah, yeah, in California.
California? So I think was your last one, right or not?
I think I did one in Jersey after, but
Okay, yeah,
yeah, 2007 was my last one.
right. Yes, this one was 2005.
Yeah,
Yeah. So and I met Dan Lambert for the first time with this one. You know, and yeah, that's I mean, never mind. That was and UFC was my third time in America. You know, no,
yeah.
I was went to yes, was my third time. Yes, was my third time. Yeah. So 99, I went to Pan American Jiu Jitsu Games, and then 2005 I went to ADCC. I think in 2007 was my debut in UFC, right?
Hold on, I'll find this.
2009 or
2007, yeah. Rich
2007,
Clemente,
yeah.
April
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah, it
So,
was 2 years after. It was my third time in America, you know, and I was decided to like, man, I'm gonna after this fight I need to do very well. I did a great camp. And then I came here in Atlanta, talked to the guy, you know, I tell the guy what I want to live here to open a gym. He agreed with everything. And then I went to Brazil. I signed the agreement to fight John Fit. But it was the time I selling everything, selling my car, selling my everything I could to move to America. You know, no
yeah.
excuse. He beat me very well, but between the camp, I was too much thing going on at the same time. Live and learn. You know, I should like wait, move to America, and then fight. But I
Now,
was
Fitch is a top guy, too.
was very tough. I beat him on the first round and the second round, I guess. Simple like that. You know?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. And he choked me out different. He dropped me and take my back, you know, and submit me, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got you a rear naked choke.
Real nigga choke, yeah. But it
Now,
was more time.
but it's a good thing because you're now in the UFC rotation. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's like you're 1-1 in
Uh-huh.
the UFC, and you come
Yeah.
back and you fight another guy, very tough from Peru,
Tony de
a guy named
Souza.
Tony D'Souza. Yeah, and talk about that fight.
The fight was good, man. Tony was my good friend. Look how crazy things. To that fight, where I was training for John Fit, I was me and my brother drive right in Rio, and my car stopped because I don't put enough gas. Right in the middle of the road, big road, and I tell my brother, get out of the car, man, let's push, man, fuck. It's a lot of car. And then I saw one guy, it was probably 1, 2 a.m., you know, and then I saw a guy with the backpack cross the street to help us. And then he got a close. I'm like, oh man, you are Tony, right? Hey, speaking Spanish. Hey man, yeah, hey man. Oh man, thank you for helping me, man. He helped me to push my car. you know, and I put the gas, and then I gave him a ride. He just landed that day to train in André Pederneiras for his fight in UFC, but it was not against me. You know,
Awesome.
and I
That's
drove.
incredible.
Yeah, and he didn't have a place to stay. He was sleeping in the street and waited the gym open because he was sleeping in the gym. I said, no, man, come to my house, and he don't accept. No, I said, man, you can come to my house, and he don't accept. And I drop him whatever he tell me to drop him. And then like after Clement, after John Fit, Alex told me I would fight Tony de Souza, and in Vegas was the Vanderlei Silva debut,
Wow.
against Chuck Liddell.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and GSP fought, I think was the rematch against Matt Hughes or Jones or Serra.
St. Pierre
St. Pierre
and
and
Hughes and
GSP
Hughes
and Hughes, yeah. GSP and Hughes, yeah. GSP
and
and Hughes.
Lyoto Machida was on that card.
Yes, was an amazing card, man. Was New Year's Eve,
Wow.
December 29, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Was good
Amazing. So
time.
now
Yeah.
you actually you beat Tony, and that's a good win. Also, now you're two
Uh-huh.
and one in the UFC.
Uh-huh.
How are you feeling?
I feel amazing. They renew my contract, which means nothing.
Yeah, there's not good money.
No good money. And then my fourth, yeah, and then renew my contract. And then after that, I think I fought one or twice, I think.
Yeah, you got two more fights. You got Kevin Burns and then Rio
Kevin
Choman in a
Burns, yeah,
rematch.
Kevin Burns, and yeah, I did it two fights. They don't finish my contract. I have a two fights, two loss, and they fired me.
Okay.
Kevin Burns was crazy. I fought in England, bad weight cut. I supposed to fight Rio Chona, but I think Rio Chona have a problem, and Kevin Burns replaced him in short notice, like 3 weeks of the fight. And I lost, and then I fought Rio Chonan with split decision, and he in Atlanta, and on my mind, I won the fight. On my mind, I won the fight. I lost by split decision, and I would think that I give him back a cut. I cut his eyes pretty bad, you
Yeah.
know.
No, I remember that, and it's kind of disappointing when you get that call. How did you find out you were cut?
I think 2 weeks after or 3 weeks, like was not long ago, not long after the fight. I mean, Joe Silva cut me at the time.
Okay.
And I feel it was not fair. I don't know, but they cut me. But I took as a man, because Man, UFC was the big event at the time. But when I started to do this, Miguel, was not for UFC, was for mixed martial arts. And I was there. This is like making me keep it going. I mean, UFC is just definitely is the big name, but come on. I fought around the world, Japan, Europe, Brazil, why I'm going to keep it, definitely get you frustrated a little bit, but man, we keep going, you know.
Yeah, and you were already in Atlanta by then.
Yes, I was already in Atlanta when I keep my gym. I trained Douglas Lima at the time, Diego. I had a lot of fighters here at the time. So Bigfoot become, then I split my time between coach and fighter at the same time,
Okay.
you
Okay. Now
know.
you took a year off, and you come back now, and you come back to fight a guy
I
who's
got
a
a knee
Brazilian
injury,
legend.
knee injury. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And your comeback fight is against a Brazilian legend,
yeah, Macaco, right? Patino.
Patino. Yeah, Jorge.
Yeah, was Shine FC in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great fight too. I beat him pretty good. Decision. He popped my knee. The same knee I got a surgery. He did the lockdown and he dislocated my knee. But
Okay.
but I still beat him.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure, it's a great win. Macaco, like I said, go back to those fights with Pele and things like that.
yeah.
Crazy stuff.
No, no, it was a good. I mean, Macaco is legit. He's for real.
So
Was
now, as you fight, you're continuing to fight. You know, on the smaller
and
shows and things like that.
yeah,
And now we get to 2015, and you get the call from UFC again. How did that come about?
coming about because before that, the call from UFC, I fought another tournament, 3 fights in one night,
Okay, yep, battlegrounds.
battlegrounds, where I have this. I don't know if you remember, I have this big drama. You know,
Okay, tell us about it.
uh, I got him. Well, I was the last name to get invited to the tournament. Who was organized the event? Who was the matchmaker at the time? Was Rich Chow
Okay,
from Bellator, right?
yeah.
And the announcer was Chael Sonnen and the guy who do the WWE, Rick Ross. Rick Ross, no, Gene Ross. Gene Ross,
Oh, okay,
WWE guy, Gene
okay.
Ross. Gene Ross.
What do you mean, Jim Ross?
Jim Ross, yeah. Jim Ross. Yeah, the
he's from
big
he's
like
from Oklahoma here where I'm from.
exactly. Yeah, the
Yeah.
fight was in Oklahoma. Yeah, Jim Ross, I think the WWE guy, everybody know him. At the time I didn't know who he was. Super nice guy. I think he's a WWE announcer, right? Or commentator.
He's
Right?
great. Actually, he's a
Yeah.
legend.
I know. He's a
Oh,
legend. Yeah.
Battlegrounds you're talking about.
Battleground.
That
Battleground.
was a mess.
Battleground.
Did you get paid?
Yeah. Remember that?
Oh, the
So
guy, Brian O'Rourke, the guy that was behind that, he went to jail, yeah. In
really?
prison now for he was charged with molesting daughter stepdaughter.
Wow. So the guy who organized the event.
Yeah, he's in prison many years now.
Oh
He
wow.
got maybe 30 years, maybe.
Wow,
Wow.
man.
I'll have to
Man,
look up
but
the exact, but it was a lot of years.
please, if you can send me his name, I'm gonna take a look because this guy's a piece of shit.
What did he do to
Man,
you? I mean, you won the tournament, and,
bro,
and you,
what
you said you got
was
paid,
hard
but what'd you go
fight,
through?
hard 3 fights. I got in the final with Brock Larson. I mean, tough motherfucker fought the WC. He did the crazy fight against Melvin Mahoof where he running one FC. Melvin Mahoof running behind him. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Manhoff is a monster.
Yeah, and he's too. He beat Melvin. He lost for Carlos Condit on the WC. Anyway, fight is 3 fights in one night. Was supposed to be paid $50,000, right? And then Rich Charles, he got a call from Bellator And then he left the event right before the fight happened, right? And then who replaced him was Kenny Monday, the wrestling coach, right? He was kind of Dana White off this battleground thing. Anyway, got there, got the beautiful belt, and they give the stack of the money right on my hands, Kenny Monday. I was like, hey, I was so happy, celebrate. And I give the money to Douglas Lima, right? And then we keep it celebrate, and then we was in the locker room, and then Douglas like, hey man, we only have a $35,000 here. And then I'm like, oh man, come on, stop the joke, man. I said, no man, I'm serious. Was like, no way. And then I saw was 3 stack of 10,000 and 2 stack of 2,000 and 10 $100 bills. So $35,000. Man, I get out of the locker room, go running. They start to like break down the cage. The show was going down. And man, where's the promoter? This motherfucker is in the jail. Where's the promoter? Where's the promoter? Where's the promoter? And then I find him, is like, man, what the hell, man? You guys give me $35,000. And he's like, oh man, the commission fined you. Commission fined me. Yeah, because you got late on the exams, on the physical exams after the weigh-ins. I said, man, this is bullshit, man. I could never got late on the exams because, man, I was so worried to do my IV, and I remember I was one of the first guys to be there to do the fucking exams. Oh no, man, it's not my fault, man. It's the commission. You need to talk to the commission. I forget the name. Maybe your guy can help me. The commissioner from Oklahoma. He's a piece of shit guy, man. I forget his name, man. Joe, I think it's Joe something. The commissioner from Oklahoma at the time. I think he's still commissioner. I think he's still the commissioner of Oklahoma. There's a lot of histories about like scams of this guy. And I went to the hotel, right? And I talked to the lobby, and I got his name. I said, man, where's the room of this guy? And the guy at the lobby said, oh, he left. So he left right after the event because they knew it was kind of scam, right? I mean, come on. I think they thought I would live in Brazil and I would care less about this. I would never make a big deal about get fined. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, after that, man, the news go like a viral. And I remember MMA Junk called me, Ariel Hayani called me, and I started to contact a lot of fighters at the time, Enzo Gracie, Vanderlei Silva, Minotauro, and everybody started to put in the media, oh, that's bullshit, man. The guy got a fine for $50,000, man, for got a late on the exam, bullshit. And I talked the side of the history about my side with Ariel Hayani. He put an MMA fight website. I talked to John Morgan from MMA Jam, and then one good friend of mine who was commissioner in California, what is his name? Damn, I forget. He was commissioner here in Georgia, and he moved to be a commissioner in California. He was my student. Man, what is his name? Man, so many names. I gotta.
Okay.
I need to find. No, I need to find his name. Man. Come on. Can you search Commissioner California?
Yep, I'll look. Keep going.
He's
Oh yeah, everybody hits that guy. I'm trying to remember his name.
I'm talking about the commissioner for Oklahoma, but the commissioner from California, Man, what's his name? Is my fucking.
I'll look him up. I can remember. No one likes the guy.
Andy Foster.
Andy Foster,
Andy Foster.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's super nice guy. I call Andy Foster. Say, Andy, man, come on, man, this is bullshit, man. You know that? Oh, yeah, I know him, man. Call him, and I tell him, man, let me talk to him first. And then he called me and said, no, I talked to him, Jucao. I think we're gonna be straight. Call him because I tell him, for bad behavior here. Let's say the fighter like a push the referee or he curse or he do something. The fine is $2,500. Man, how he can find me with $15,000 to get late on the exams on the physical? And I called this guy from Oklahoma, commissioner. And then he's like, hey, man, yeah, first tell me your side of the history. I said, man, my side, I was there the whole time. I never got late. Oh, no, but my guy told him you got late. He was waiting for you, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, man, I did the exams. I remember exactly how the exam was. He told me to do 10 push-ups, to keep touch my nose. He closed my eyes and keep it touch my nose. He pushed my chest. He making me repeat some numbers. He look my eyes. He and I did the exam, man. I don't remember I got late at all. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I still have to find you. I was like, okay, but how much you gonna find me? And he's like $50. I say, you are saying you are reduce my fine from 50,000 to $50. And he's like, yes. I'm like, okay, I accept that $50, right? But when you gonna give my money back? Oh, this is gonna take a month. I was like, okay. What are you gonna do? You're gonna wire the money? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna wire the money. This motherfucker, he wired me $14,900. He still have $100. It's set to be 50. And he also tell me to not talk to the media anymore. He was, hey, please don't talk to the media anymore. Because I make noise. Everybody, I'm sure his phone like a blow. Everybody tried to contact him. Because I believe in his mind, oh, this motherfucker from Brazil, he's never gonna take care. He never gonna care about it. He gonna accept. I said, no. It's not the way men work. You steal my money, man. Come on, I fight 3 men in one night. Are you fucking kidding me? Man, I was waiting to go to his house. I was ready to go to his house and say, man, come on, man, $50,000 for 3 guys in one night, and you find me to what? To get late on the physical after the wins? Come on, man. But
No,
anyway,
amazing.
Yeah, and I solved the problem. They give me the money. I was the happy man. And then I went to help Rosemar Palhares in California with Alex on his World Fight Off Series, was the old PFL. He fought John Fitt. And then we had a group chat from fighters from Brazil, and Caio Magalhães, he said he would be out of the fight against Mark Munoz. Right? And then I talked to Alex. I said, Alex, I heard Caio is not going to be able to fight Mark Munoz. I know it's one division up. It's 185. Yeah. But I fight him, man. If it's the only way I get back to the UFC, I fight him. And then he called Joe Silva. I said, listen, I heard Caio is out. Jucao's here. He said he can fight Mark Munoz. And then Joe like, oh, he sure? He's a 185. I don't want you to compare after. He was welterweight, blah, blah, blah. And I was in the speaker, I said, no, man, I fight him. Okay, give me a few hours. And then he called Alex back and said, man, tell him he's out. He's back in UFC.
It's a great story. Now,
yeah.
Fighting that jump from 170 to 185.
And then I was like, and then I was like, what the hell I did, man? I'm gonna fight this monster 185. But was like, you know what? let's fucking go. You know, was the one of the best performances I had in UFC because I was careless. You know, Miguel, I was not give a fuck. You know,
Yeah.
and it was a big
Nothing to
show,
lose.
nothing to lose. Exactly, it was a big show in LA. Was in a Staples Center. You know, the headline was Ronda Rousey and Cat Zingano.
Wow.
And I did it the main event of the prelims was me against Mark Munoz. Man, and then everything went perfect. Like I submitted him the first round, put him to sleep, you know, and then UFC don't let me go back to 170. They say
And
no,
Munoz was a serious dude.
no, he was top 10. He was number 9 when I fought him. You
It's
know,
incredible.
which make me go to rank number 11, I think. Right after
Okay.
beating him, I got a rank on 11. Then I fought
Brunson.
Bronson. Yeah, and I fell. He was strong. Was not my good day. He beat me very well. No excuse at all. And then I moved back to welterweight.
Okay. And
Yeah,
there you got a guy named Kenny Robinson.
Kenny Robbins. I fought in Hidalgo, Texas. I beat him. Was a pretty good fight. And I think after that was my last fight in UFC with Ryan LaFleur.
Ryan LaFleur, UFC 208.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you remember about that one?
Man, it was cold as a fuck in Brooklyn. You know, I finished the fight. First round, I was not fight very well. Second round, too. When I start to get like excited to the fight was over. I finished mount on him punch, but it was too late. You know, and then UFC once again he cut me, but I think my mission in UFC was done. You know, I started to become a coach, and then I fought ACA.
In Dubai?
Yeah,
No, Dubai.
and
No.
first one was in Dubai, second one's in Chechnya,
Yeah,
which
that's what
is
I want
like,
to ask you about. Chechnya now is emerging. Tell
bro,
us, tell us
listen,
about going to Chechnya.
it was the best experience what I have in my MMA career. Fighting Chechen against Chechen guy, you know, was everything was crazy. You have to have balls to fight the Chechen. Doesn't matter if you are Brazilian. And I got a lot of respect for one guy from America. He fought there a couple times. If I met him in American top 10. If you see the card, you can see who I'm talking about. He's American. He fought on Bellator. He got a battle over there today, man. I think his nickname is Oath. What is
I'm
this?
checking.
Yeah, check the car. See the Americans who fought on the car.
Trevin Jones?
No Trevor Jones.
Okay.
Is he a heavyweight?
Brett
He's a
Cooper.
middleweight. Cooper, yes. Brad
Yeah.
Cooper. Brad
Yeah.
Cooper. Yeah. Bro, was Brazilians Americans against the Russians. You know? And very man, it's nothing Chechnya, you know, no tourists. So the hotel was massive hotel. I got there 10 days before the fight. So they lost my bag. I only have on my bag the day of the weigh-ins. You know, I went out to buy clothes just to train to hanging out over there. And the hotel was only me and the employees. You know, think about you go to some type of like a Holiday Inn, only you in the hotel. You know,
Crazy.
only you in the hotel. And then I was like, damn, only myself in the hotel and the employees. And then the fighters start to come in around the world. You know, and then I start to see more people. But other than that, I see only like Chechen people, employees. I don't go out. It's very, 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 very weird place, man. Very weird place. They search you everything. No, you fighter, but you go out of the bus. They make a line for search your bags and everything. They give you no hard time, but come on, man, you fighter, you're gonna fight. You fly from, I mean, Brazil or America or whatever. Man, I know you guys is a prevention for terrorism. I know Kadyrov, he was in the building. I know he's very secure over there, but come on, man. You guys know we don't need to do that. And I remember, luckily, I got a picture with one army guy, with the general of the army. He was the right arm for Kadyrov. It's one guy from man. If you saw
Bismaradov.
Yeah, it's a kind of
Bismaradov. Yeah.
yeah, And I took a picture with him. And then this soldier there, he was giving me a hard time for me, Diego, right? And then I remember, I got a picture with this guy. And then I opened my phone and said, "Hey, listen, my friend." I showed him my friend, and he looked and said, "Oh, bro, they treat me like a king over there." Right after show, they got us so scared, man. And then they open, they don't search me anymore. They let me go straight to the arena, you know. But they treat you very well. But that's the thing. If you go the distance, you're gonna lose. Doesn't matter what.
For sure. Yeah.
If you almost kill the guy, but you go the distance, you're gonna lose the fight.
Yeah.
Period. Period. Herb D was there. Herb D was the ref, and I said, Herb, come on, man. Do you think no, you won the fight. You won the fight. But man, you're in Chechen, man. He is a little bit different. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know. So they give me the money for the win bonus. Why they give me the money for win bonus? You know what I mean? It's like one way to keep me like, hey man, you lost, but man, you know what? Good job,
Yeah.
That's it. And cash. They pay me cash. Bro, it's no. It's like all fighters, they get paid by cash. And it's one of their room at the hotel. And they have this four guys, and they have the table with a bunch of cash and the count money machine, and they have the paper, whatever. Okay, Carneiro, $50,000. And then they put the money on the machine, and they give it to you. Do you want to count? I said, no, I believe in you guys. Thank you. No, thank you for your job. Just sign here. Boom. Next. It's a big line, on the hallway, at the room to pay every fighter with cash.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great experience. They treat you very well.
I did 5 shows in Russia.
Really?
Yeah, I did 5 shows in Russia. It's crazy. And I faced a bunch of guys over there.
But Russia, not Chechnya.
No. We did one show in Kazan.
Okay.
Which is down there. But usually St. Petersburg or Moscow.
Oh, and man, it's crazy. Come on. Listen, Miguel. Just for have idea. Different world. Just for have idea, right? So I flew to Atlanta, New York, Moscow, Chechnya. When I finished the fight in Chechnya, right? I forget the name of the city, Chechnya, man. The capital over there, I forget. Grozny. Yeah, Grozny. Yeah. So Moscow, Grozny. But that's the thing. I lost my connection because they Aeroflot at the time. Probably very familiar with Aeroflot. Yeah. Aeroflot, they messed my connection in Moscow, and then they told me like, oh no, you can't fly to Grozny today, only tomorrow. And then it was like, oh shit, okay. And then the guy, oh, but I cannot fly tomorrow because it's going to be more than 24 hours. And you're not able to fight. But I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do? Oh, you can fight the city. It's there, and then you can take a cab. Oh, is it Mahakchala in Dagestan?
Okay.
And then I watch. Okay. And then they don't tell me how far it is. It's like, oh, it's close. And then I watch and say, hey, hold on. It's 5 hours. Oh, it's the only way. And then I call the guy, try to call the guy from ACA. I say, hey, man, the guy messed it up here, everything, man, blah, blah, blah. Talk to the guy on the phone, and he's like, and they come, oh, no, fly to Makachala. I want to send the guy to pick you up over there. And we're like, okay. Moscow to Makachala. When I got there, the guy was an army guy, right? He go inside the airport, start to scream to everybody, hey, man, his bag, man, disappeared, speaking Russian. Blah. And everybody got scared, asking me how was the bag, this and that, da, da, da. And he's like, no worry, your bag is gonna be found. Don't worry. And I just have on my backpack and my small bag, my small suitcase. And then he's like, okay, put your bag on the trunk. And he opened the trunk. When he opened the trunk, I saw two motherfucking rifles on the trunk. I'm like, oh shit. It's like, oh, hey, look at me, oh, Armadzilla, army. Don't worry, army. I said, all right. Put it back. Man, this guy, man, he drive, I mean, super fast. I said, man, you can slow down, man. Don't worry. I like to watch the view, man. Don't worry. He's like, go crazy. And then they have one checkpoint, right? And I think police or armed checkpoint. I was like, oh my God, hopefully that guy's not be a gangster, man. Holy shit. And the guy they stopped, they pointed the rifle to us and like, oh, all right. And then he's like, oh, Armadzilla, open, Armadzilla. Until we got in Grozny, from Makchala to Grozny, we probably have like 4 or 5 checkpoints. And all 5 checkpoints was the same. He's like, Armadzilla, and they let us pass. But anyway, back on what I told you. After this experience in Makchala and Grozny, when I flew back to Moscow, I have to spend me and Brad Cooper and the other his corners is, man, when you got in Moscow, it's a different world from Chechnya.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You
for
feel
sure.
so, man, Moscow, man, St. Petersburg is amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
No. It's there's
You know,
different culture, different race.
it is. It
Everything.
is.
So
Yeah.
yeah. No. You
Yeah.
went on an adventure, my
Oh my
friend.
God. Yeah. It was, but I mean, I don't take anything out, man. I have an amazing time, great experience.
Oh yeah.
So was very, 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 very cool experience at the time.
You're carrying around 50 grand. What's the going into other countries? So what's the challenge with that? Going to
I split my
customs.
money. I split the money. I put 10,000 in my bag, 10,000 with Diego's bag, 10,000 with my pocket, and 10,000 with Diego's. And I pray. I say, man, hopefully they don't want to stop me with my money. I don't want to pay tax on this right now.
No,
You
for
know,
sure. Yeah. We
all did the
even
same. Brad Cooper, all Americans, everybody did the same.
it's
Brazilians
crazy.
too. Yeah, Brazilian
Now,
too.
did you see people drinking?
No,
No?
no,
Oh,
and
because they're Muslims.
Chechnya, no. Moscow, yeah. Chechnya, we don't see women. There's no women in the event. No women.
Wow.
No woman fight, no ring girl, nothing. There's no women. Only guys. Probably have like a 10 to 15,000 people and no women. I think I have a few women, but it was like married with someone.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Someone
crazy.
important. Yeah, I mean, crazy. And one thing I remember too, so the army, they have an MMA team over there, right? And they call Akhmat's MMA team. One guy lost for one Brazilian, Rodrigo Praia. So the Russian guy, he lost, right? And after his fight, this general I'm talking about, like, called him and point his finger on his face and did 3 big slap on his face with
Wow.
this, with that, and finish with one more. Like
Wow.
a talk to him. He probably be like, this guy came from Brazil and he beat your ass here. We pay. I was imagining what he was saying. You fought like a bitch, man. Wow. We pay everything for you. How you let this Brazilian guy beat you here? Oh, another one. Then he finished.
Crazy.
The guy was his head this way. And then he left and like he's crying, and I had one Chechen friend who was with us over there. He's like, probably they're gonna beat his ass tonight. Probably they're gonna bring him and he's gonna be timeout or be in the jail or I don't know if it's true or not. That's what I heard.
Serious stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the,
yeah.
the Russian guys is great. I went to Russia. Do you know Ben Rothwell? The
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
big heavy, huge
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
heavyweight,
yeah, yeah. I know
right?
Ben. Yeah, he fought Junior dos Santos in Croatia.
Yeah.
So
I have a picture of me, Ben, who's huge, and the Russian boxer Valuev, who's seven
right.
feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben got up to here on him.
Shit. Wow. Well,
It's
which show
crazy
was
stuff.
Bulldog?
No, this was one of the MFCs with
Oh,
Vadim.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Vadim. Yeah, yeah.
and what I remember to
Vadim,
do is
he won back then was Red Devil, right? Red
yeah,
Devil.
Finkelstein.
Yeah, Kikosi.
Yeah,
And
so
Vadim was
we
he managed Fedor,
Fedor.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Man, you
And
you got it, you got his show over there.
like 5 times, yeah, man.
Wow, man,
I
that's awesome, bro.
and what's funny is I asked you about drinking in Moscow.
Uh-huh.
We actually there were people passed out on the floor, and you step over them.
Wow. Yeah, they
So
don't, man. Did
what's
you did
interesting
you
in the USA,
I,
you go to a sporting event and you pay $10 for a beer, more.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Over
Uh-huh.
there, 70 cents.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's so cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So people.
do went on his boat? I think he have a boat, right? Or
No, we didn't get. I didn't get to do that. Oh no, yes, that's in St. Petersburg. He had
St. Petersburg, yeah.
outside of the museum. There was a ship, an old Dutch Armada ship,
Right.
and yeah, we
I
that was with
saw, I
Bo.
saw,
That
I
was with
saw,
Bodog.
I saw,
We,
I
we
saw the boat over there.
we
And
were by then we were with Bodog, and we did the after fight party on the boat. It's
oh
crazy.
wow, man,
It
that's
was
crazy, man.
He said George Masvidal knocked this guy, slapped his girlfriend, and George Masvidal knocked him out
Wow,
outside.
really?
So we was controlling shit, just crazy
Wow.
stuff.
Oh my God. Do those type of shit in Russia is no, it's
Yeah,
crazy. But
yeah,
you
I
see
know for
how
sure.
crazy Masvidal it is.
Yeah, for sure. No,
Right?
I knew George. I made 15 fights for George.
Well, really? Yeah.
Yeah, so
AFC, right?
yeah, he doesn't talk to me anymore.
Oh, really?
He's too big a star.
Oh, right.
But
Anyway,
I'm glad to talk to you again, my friend, because
always, bro.
definitely
Always, Miguel.
you're a man, definitely always to respect, top shelf guy all the time. Go, Todd. Go.
I want to ask you before we got Douglas Lima. You trained him. I was a big fan of the old Bjorn Rebney Bellator season
Right.
tournament. And obviously I watched him a lot. Maybe tell me a little bit about Douglas Lima.
Man, Douglas is the reason I never left Atlanta. The connection I have with him, Diego, and his family
Is that Diego
was
Saraiva?
no, Diego Lima, his
Diego
brother.
Lima is his
Oh, okay.
brother. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got you.
his brother. We have a strong connection, and they become my students. Now they have his own American top team, and it's so blessed to see how his life grow and how my life grow. What memories we have here in Georgia together training. What he become like world champion, like all those events we went together, starting from the local one here, and MFC in Canada, and then those tournaments in Bellator, the $1 million tournament and everything, man. It's a blast. Though is one of the most rumble guy I met in my life. A guy who don't wish bad for any person. He's a man of God, so respectful, and yeah, that's what I can talk about Douglas. He's an amazing human being, man. The guy, it's
His little leg kick, super strong leg kick.
bro, crazy, crazy. His ground game is good too. He's lazy, but his ground game is good too. But his strike it's unreal, man. His strike it's unreal. Everything he haven't done from the sport. So bad now that PFL bought a Bellator and treat him like a shit. Treat all fighters, all champions, from Bellator like a shit. Musasi, him, the guy who beat him, Amusov, the Ukrainian guy. But yeah, they're gonna have what they deserve. I'm not gonna be surprised if they got anyway. It's not I think that's not the way you should treat your champions. A guy who won 3 tournaments, who defend the title, who become 3 times world champion. So he won the belt, lost the belt, won the belt, lost the belt, won the belt, lost the belt. I think in the history, like no one ever done anything like he did it. Like, I mean, it's hard to keep it, to maintain, to hold the title. But I think
win it back.
But win it back, I think it's way hard.
Yeah.
Right? Because most of the time you keep it the belt and then you lost, and you might going to have some run to take the belt again, but you're never going to take the belt again. Man, he did it there 3 times, and high level guys. Korishkov, a Russian guy, super hard, very good. He lost for Ben Askren one time, and then he beat Ben Sanders, the Grand Prix. He did a very fast knockout, like a body hook, uppercut, hook, and high kick. Was beautiful KO. Walkway KO. MVP.
He beat MVP.
MVP. The guy who never got a knockout in his life, and he knocked him out. And amazing fights, man, amazing fights. But I think like that new guy who is behind the PFL, he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he doesn't want
Is this because you don't think they're going to keep the champions?
They try to get rid of the champions. I don't know what they're gonna do. They don't know what they're doing. Honestly, they don't know what they're doing. The way they treat like Larissa Pacheco, who become 2 times she lost for Cyborg right now, was legit loss. But the way they treated her, she beat Kayla, and with 155 division, and then they come to her and say, "Hey, Larissa, congrats, you're the champion, but we're gonna get rid of your division. If you want, we're gonna have 145 for you next year," and tell her in 1 month. But she still go cut weight and won the tournament again. You should not treat champions. Your champions like that. I don't.
It's crazy.
You should not treat your champions like that and make her fight Cyborg for forever. Give her some fights. To get her. No waiting.
Make money.
Keep her busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, but no, you won 2 tournaments. You won $2 million. Like, what? And okay, I won, but what that means? I want to fight. I want to fight. I don't care about the one. I won because I fight.
You know what's better than 2 million? 3 million, you know?
Yeah, and then 45.
For
Right?
sure. Well, my friend, I want to ask you one favor. Do you think you could get Douglas Lima to do an interview with us?
Yes, man, of course. Yeah.
That would be great.
I'll talk to him.
I'll text you and we'll line it up for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
month or
yeah.
so.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
That'll be great.
I think in the future, like in a few weeks from now, he's man, if you don't reply, man, it's him. It's not like he doing bad thing. Even me sometimes I send him a message, it took me like 3 days to reply or 2 days.
It's okay.
He's a different type of people, but a
Yeah,
super nice guy, and I'm sure he's gonna do the interview for you guys. I'm gonna make
and
that happen.
we much respect. Todd loves him.
Yeah.
I think he was probably one of the top three Bellator fighters ever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I believe that
For
too.
me, I'm an Eddie Alvarez fan, so
No, I get. Yeah, I get.
but
I would put him, Patricio Pitbull,
yeah,
and yeah, now,
Douglas.
Douglas, yeah, and I put this
So
guy from Florida now, Johnny Elby, you
okay,
know.
yeah, yeah. They had good. Look, Bellator in the history has a good history. They when they came out, I was like, we'll see if they do 20 shows, and they did.
Right,
They put
they did it, yeah.
so
Yeah, Johnny
they gave
Evans,
guys
damn
Johnny
good.
a
Elby,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
Damn good.
a lot of ability to be seen. So I'm proud of them. And Jucao, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you,
You're a
Miguel. I
great
appreciate your
interview.
time, bro. Always,
Fantastic stories, man. Everything
always.
from Chechnya
So,
to
do you still
nightclubs in
do?
Brazil.
Yeah, man, we need to get together, Miguel.
I
We
live
need
in
to get
Costa
together.
Rica.
You in Costa Rica now?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna come and visit you, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Come on down, man. Come on down.
100%,
I could get you hooked up with some seminars and stuff too.
bro. I appreciate it. Let's talk about that, Miguel. I'm totally down. As long as I got some seminar to get busy, just go there, meet you, have some good
Yeah,
talk. You
yeah, for
know,
sure, for sure. Let's work on that.
do you still talk with Dan Lambert sometimes or not?
Yes, I talked to him. He helped me. I had a fighter, Ryan Diaz. He's a 135 pounder that uh, needed a replica of his belt, and
Oh,
Dan
okay,
hooked me up with a guy that made the belts for them. And
okay.
so yeah, I talked to him in the last 6 months over that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Sounds
yeah,
good.
Dan's a good guy. You know what I mean?
It
He's very
is, it
busy,
is, it is.
so
Man,
I don't like to bother him.
bro, I know, I feel, but he always is crazy because he's a very busy guy, but he gonna reply. He's not going to let you alone, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
I
for sure.
mean,
I saw him maybe 2 years ago. I went to Florida, and I went to the ATT school, and I saw him there. And
oh wow.
typical Dan. He comes up to me, he goes, "You look like shit."
Yeah, it's Dan, it's Dan, it's Dan.
So definitely, a good mutual friend. But yeah, let's talk more about the Douglas interview and about you coming down here.
100%. I want to make that
Yeah.
happen, Miguel. You
All
know?
right. Big hug, my friend. Thank you very much for the
Hey,
time.
have a good one, bro. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man.